Well, good day, friends. I hope you're all well. I'm Franky, and welcome to the Think Tank. So, Bryan Kohberger, things are slipping out every single day, aren't they? So, what I want to talk about basically is what they collected when they went to the parents' house in Pennsylvania, what he was doing when he was arrested, and this Elliot Rodgers thing, as well as what is on page 118 on Elliot Rodgers Manifesto. So let's start. Let's start here, friends. Bryan Kohberger was standing in the kitchen wearing latex clothes and putting his personal trash in separate Ziploc bags on the morning that the police raided his family home. Hoya, hoya, hoya. The new details about his behavior on December 30th were revealed by Monroe County First Assistant District Attorney Michael Mancuso, followed by the release of the search warrant last week with a list of items that they had collected. I've got a list. It's not a short list. It's just more of a point list of what they collected. And out of that, there's really only a couple of things that really surprised me. So we know that there's been multiple knives, a handgun, and ammunition, some masks, black clothes, Ziploc bags, hiking boots. There was a wrench and a shovel in the Hyundai. The assistant DA said Kohberger used the gloves to separate the trash. It's possibly why investigators only recovered DNA from his family members and not from the suspect after taking trash from the home to be tested. So that would be when they noticed him creeping through the yards, dumping off the family trash. So we are going to take a quick look at this.
Shows of 4 University of Idaho college students.
An unsealed warrant reveals more about what police were looking for at Bryan Kohberger's home and what they found on him when he was arrested in December. News 13's Nicole Walters joins.
Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home. Now, for the first time, Monroe County officials are sharing what he was doing when police found him.
Mr. Kohberger, as with any other criminal defendant, is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. It remains the case, but certainly for the investigation and the interest of the investigators in building the case layer by layer, that was a significant find.
This Bryan Kohberger was under police surveillance for several weeks before he was arrested, and officials believed he was in possession of items related to the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. Police raided his family's home within Indian Mountain Lake Estates in Chestnut Hill Township on December 30th, just before 1:30 in the morning. The warrant shows he had on him at the time a flashlight, 4 medical-style gloves, a T-shirt, a black sweatshirt, a pair of size 13 shoes, a pair of black socks, black shorts, black boxers, and they took 1 cheek swab.
Mr. Kohberger was found awake in the kitchen area, dressed in shorts and a shirt and wearing latex medical type gloves, and apparently was taking his personal trash and putting it into separate Ziploc baggies.
Monroe County First Assistant District Attorney Michael Mancuso tells us that discovery cleared up another part of the investigation.
Trash pull that days before recovered DNA files, but not from him, only from his family members.
State police say part of what they were looking at may shed light on the mental state of Kohberger or the victims, including drugs or medication. But we're told these actions speak for themselves.
It could very well explain some of the other aspects of the case from Idaho, some of the lengths that a person would go to avoid having their DNA left behind when they know or should have known that there was an investigation underway.
As far as the other items, 2 could play a big role in court.
I would be keen on the shoes, the size of the shoes, the comparison to any shoe impressions that might have been recovered at the scene,
But we're told the cheek swab is key.
something that they could compare to the DNA obtained, I believe, on the snap button for the sheath of the knife.
The Monroe County District Attorney's Office continues to investigate.
So that kind of gives us an update or a refresher, I guess, as to what they collected and what he was doing in the middle of the night in his underwear, in his kitchen, parents' kitchen, stuffing his garbage into Ziploc baggies. Very, very odd. So, like he just said, it could explain some of the other aspects of the Idaho case, just based on what he was willing to do to avoid being caught. As parents, the car. That is his dad cleaning up after basically the raid. We've seen a lot of this. So it's saying here that altogether 63 items were seized at the parents' house. So this is what I'm gonna run off fast for you. This is what was collected. So a knife, a book with an underlining on page 18, which we're gonna discuss, an AT&T bill, Glock 22, 40 caliber, a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, folder containing vehicle paperwork, an Acer laptop, greeny leafy substance in a green container, documents, green leafy substance in a plastic bag, white paper with password, a power cable, cell phone, Glock 40 caliber empty magazines. It says books, but I'm thinking maybe books. Black face masks, prescription, black gloves, one black hat, one black mask, personal identifying documents, New Balance shoes, dark color jacket, dark jackets, dark color shirts, dark colored pants, clear plastic glove, laptop with damage, record of sale of the 22 Glock, item photographed but not taken, note in desk, a criminal psychology book, documents, extra large Columbia Navy fleece, a man's hand-drawing, 10 non-legible inside glove, inside box. Okay, there is something, I was able to read this on the actual documents, so see if I can find those. So various criminology books, notes and license and a card, dark colored hats, gloves, a motherboard, Washington State University paperwork, note from Bryan from Montana, interesting, medical documents, court documents, note to dad from Bryan, interesting again, colored spiral notebook, dark colored clothes, HP all-in-one printer, dark clothes and laundry basket, Taylor cutlery knife with a leather sheath, 4 buccal swabs, so they did get his DNA, 2 pair of dark colored boots, and 1 pair of brown boots. And from the Elantra, swabs, a Ziploc bag with pink zipper, plastic baggie with green zipper, 7 quarters, 36 dimes, 32 nickels, 8 pennies, gloves, receipts, car insurance card, car registration, hiking boots, comfort in room key holder, and stay information, interesting. Tire iron, shovel, interesting. Goggles, interesting. Floor mats, reflective vest, used water bottles, wrench, door, panel, seats and seat cushions, headrest, seat belt, visor, fiber, brake pedal, gas pedal, phone charger, Band-Aid, wrappers, maps, documents, seat belt, and boots. And this is from the place that was in Pullman. 1 silver flashlight, 4 medical style gloves, white Arizona Company large t-shirt, Champion WSU large black sweatshirt, pair of black and white size 13 Nike shoes, pair of black black Under Armour socks, Under Armour black shorts, Under Armour black boxers, large, and a buccal swab. So that there is what they collected at the parents' place, the vehicle, as well as let's go over here, as well as the place, okay, the vehicle, the parents' place, and the place in Pullman. So this is page 118 from the Elliot Rodgers Manuscript. I highlighted a few things that I thought kind of stood out. So I'll read this off to you and let me know down below what you think. So, how wicked and degenerate women really are. The website PUA Hate is very depressing. It shows just how bleak and cruel the world is due to the evilness of women. After a spring season spent in absolute despair, while other young people lived healthy lives of sexual pleasure, summer arrived. Summer is even worse than spring, especially in Santa Barbara. Flocks of hot young girls go out in their shorts and bikinis, further tantalizing my sex-starved body every time I look at them. Knowing that they are gleeful, show off their desirable forms, yet they would never give me a chance to be their boyfriend, only increasingly made my boiling hatred towards all women. I could not leave my apartment without seeing at least a few of them. The only place I would go where I could be at peace was the lake park in Goleta. I spent a lot of time there trying to establish a sense of peace and serenity wherever my loneliness in Isla Vista came to unbearable. As I looked at all of those beautiful trees around me and the towering mountains in the background, I wondered how a world so beautiful can be so dark and cruel. Indeed, a beautiful environment in the darkest of hell if you experience it all alone, while other men get to enjoy the company of women. I had nothing left to live for but revenge. Women must be punished for their crimes of rejecting such a magnificent gentleman as myself. All of those popular boys must be punished for enjoying heavenly lives and having sex with all the girls while I suffer in lonely virginity. It was already June, and I had been living in the Santa Barbara area for 2 years, 2 whole years. I lived in a college town full of young, attractive students who partied and had sex all the time, and I did not get to experience any of it. For a while, I'd been deciding on whether or not I could exact my retribution in Isla Vista or Santa Barbara College. In both places, I suffered greatly. Attractive young couples walking around in both places, and those were my targets. I wanted to unalive as many attractive young couples as I possibly could. Every time I walked around Isla Vista trying to meet girls or fit in with the popular kids, I've only been treated with disdain, as if I am an inferior mouse. On the day of retribution, the tables indeed will turn. I mused to myself, I will be a god, and they will be the animals I can slaughter. They are animals. They behave like animals, and I will slaughter them like the animals they are. The day of retribution would have to be on a normal party weekend. So I set something up for the time of November of 2013. So yes, there is a lot of similarities when it comes to the train of thought that Bryan Kohberger was using through his life, as it is women's fault, the good-looking people's fault. So the couple things that I took notice on that list was the shovel in the vehicle. I found that quite interesting. Let me know what you think that could be used for. I also found, let me take a look here, see if I can pull it up. I also found, let's see here. I'm just gonna. I know I've got it down. I just don't want to miss any of the highlights. This thing, Murdoch's. Sorry, friends. I've been behind everything since I was covering that Murdoch trial. So the lock was interesting to me. And the note that was left on his desk, a drawing, a note from Bryan from Montana, a note to his dad. And I am wondering why all the dark clothes when he seemed to dress in light clothes. Let me know what you guys think down below. And I think that is all I have. If you guys can think of anything else that is questionable as far as all of this goes, again, add that to the bottom. The Bryan Kohberger, PAPPA Rodgers, and the Elliot Rodgers is definitely piquing my interest. It's giving me more reason to believe that there's a possibility that Bryan Kohberger was using PAPPA Rodgers as an alias to post while he was still free. PAPPA Rodgers has not posted since Bryan has been in the Who Scout. Let me know your thoughts down below, friends. I appreciate you. Let me know again what you think, and I'll absolutely see you in the next one. Bye.